So today at work, I had an experience, and it made me think some thinkable thoughts, shareable thoughts. So here we go. So all you really need to know for the story is I'm a roofer, and it was new construction. And if you don't know what that means, it just means it was just like this steel work, like there was no bricks or anything laid out yet. And it was a particularly windy day. And at some point, I was doing roofer shit, laying down plates or whatever. And I got to the edge, and I got a strong feeling of vertigo because I could just feel the whole thing shaking under, and I was shook for a second. And emotionally, I was brought back to 11-year-old Dito, climbing a tree that was in my backyard that I'm thankful to have. And it was a really nostalgic feeling, and it felt almost like I've had that feeling before, like a lot. But trees were the first thing that came into my head for some reason. And then that got me thinking, because I'm the person that's type of think, trees are really important to people. If you want to take an evolutionary biological approach, some time ago that I'm not smart enough to tell you, but I'm confident because I believe what the man tells me when I feel it's useful. And according to the story, we were monkeys on trees in Africa, and we had to get down from the trees and learn to conquer the world. So I think climbing trees and then getting what you need from trees and then going out into the world is a pattern that is bred into us. And I think it expresses itself through a lot of religions and stuff. You can read through the books or whatever, but take my word for it. Religions use, like, a lot of religions use trees in their imagery, and I think that's my theory why. Well, not my theory, but the theory that I believe that people started formulating before I was even born, which, good for them. Thank you for educating me to this point. But then I started thinking more metaphorically about trees. I like to put things in metaphor and story because it's an easy way for my brain to process things. Because I have a stupid little monkey brain. But I think trees are obviously a good metaphor for the environment because it's fucking tree. It takes in the carbon dioxide that we and other animals produce and makes more life-making shit out of it, and it's a beautiful little symbiotic thing we got going on. And then that made me sad because, I grew up in an age where a lot of the stuff we talk about is like climate change and like just the crime. We're raping the ocean on a consistent basis. And it's like, damn, everyone's out here caring, and you know how I know everyone's caring? Because they're all posting it on their social media, and anytime they see a picture of a fucking turtle with a straw up its little esophagus, they're like, oh, I'm gonna press the little button and put the thing so that other people see it, and then that kind of annoys me as someone that likes to see things get done, because it's like, okay, but what are you doing about it? And then the reasonable response to that is like, oh, but most of the time these are just teenage kids, like oh, what are they gonna do? And you know what? You're right. The fact that we're going through a lot of these environmental problems is because a lot of dead men and a lot of alive, powerful men are either willfully ignorant or just I think for a lot of it, you got to cut some slack because a lot of people just don't know or don't know to care enough for just however the world made them. But so there's everyone out here caring, but everyone pays the lip service because we've gotten to a point where everyone knows that they kind of got to say, like, yes, I like nature and I would like a world to live where humans and other living conscious things can flourish, because people just have enough sense to know that that's what people want to hear. But how can you tell if someone actually cares about the tree? And for this, to link this all together, I'm gonna tell you a story about a slightly older than 11 Dito, maybe a high school Dito, and radio club. Another thing I think trees work for as a metaphor is just the whole idea of like a status hierarchy that like you want to climb the tree up. Typically, archetypally, in our Western, up is up, and like to the right means like progress. Like when you watch movies, like if something's going left to right, it signifies progress, and climbing up the trees. And yeah, I already said that, but so yeah, high school Dito, one of the things that he told himself he cared about was this little club called Radio Club. Now this club was a cool little club. It was a collection of funky people that all got along because we were kind of funky people. And there was a point where the seniors that were like ran the whole thing, like from when I was like a freshman, like were like about to leave high school, and they kind of adopted a dying club. And then as kind of it's supposed to be as public high school, they kind of left it shit at the end for the next kids to come in and fix or whatever. It could have been done more efficiently, but I knew that at the time. And so to be a part of the change that I wanted to see in the world, I applied for leadership positions in the club, and I kind of went the wrong way about it at times to try to get like the higher positions. So, but it was all with good intention. It was all because I wanted to do what's best for the tree, the club. So if you're gonna get anything from this video, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna give you the answers, but I'm gonna give you the equation. It's something like, here's how to know if you care about the tree, whatever the tree may be in your life. How long have you been around the tree? How high are you on the tree? And how does the tree look after you've made your climb?